Hey guys, it's Julian. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make high-low / filth on acid style techno. As usual, you can get the full project files, samples, MIDI presets. Everything that you just heard in the intro is available right at the top of the description on my Bandcamp for just $5. Definitely go grab that if you enjoyed these videos. It really helps support me. And yeah, thank you so much for the support, guys. Let's dive in. So we're at 130 BPM. The first thing we have up here is the kick. This kick is 4 layers. So we have our main punch, right? Just standard punchy kick. This is just one of mine that I made. And then we have our rumble bass, which is the same kick, but it's playing 16th notes. And yeah, and then that's going to a bit of reverb. Which, the secret to this rumble bass is you want to turn the size and the decay time down on the reverb, and then turn the reflect and diffuse up, and you get that really like full sounding reverb. Then we have a low pass filter. I'm converting it to mono, which is really important with this. You know, even though it is reverb, you want to make sure it's mono because it's going to be the bass, so you don't want too much width in your bass. And then we have this drum bus, which is kind of fattening it up and making it a bit more full. You can see, yeah, I've got the boom on there. Then we just have a compressor, which is sidechaining this to the kick. And then we have this, which is just cutting out some low end that you're not really hearing. So we can't really hear much lower than like 20, 30 hertz. But those frequencies can still fill up your mix and make things a little bit messy. So it's just cutting that out. And then that's it for the bass. So we have those two. And then on top of that, we have this kick punch layer. So without that, and with it. So this kick is just made using another kick sample. And then what we're doing is I'm cutting out the low end, distorting it. So we're basically just distorting the mids and highs. And then we're cutting out the lows again just to make sure that nothing clashes with the mid bass. And again, here's without it. And then with it. So you can hear where we add that. It just gives you that little like on top of the kick. And then the last layer here is this disto loop. So what this is, it's actually this loop that I made. This is like a 909. Like a 909 kick with a bit of delay on it, and then I saturated it. And you get this nice kind of texture out of it. And then what I did here is I cut out the low end, and I sidechained it to the main kick. And then this just adds like a really nice movement kind of in the bottom with the kick. It kind of blends with the rumble bass. Here's without it. And it's really subtle, but like when you hear the beginning of a track and you hear that like little bit of movement that they have that's kind of missing from your tracks, this is probably it. You just need something like this, kind of adding something in the low end like that. And then on the group there, we just have another EQ cutting at 30 hertz again. Like I like to just really make sure that there's nothing that's going to get in the way of the low end. And yeah, then we have this 303. Now this is a pretty simple little sound. It just plays one note, just G sharp, and that's just like at the end of every, I guess you could say it's once every 4 bars, basically. Just to give you that little kind of like end to the sequence there. And the way the sound is made is, you can see it's operator. We actually just have a saw wave with a bandpass filter, and then the bandpass filter is how you get the 303 sound. We've got, you can see like the secret is you don't use that much of the envelope. You just use it at like maybe between 20 and 30%. And then you turn the decay up. You want like a longer decay. And that's basically that combined with the resonance. And then combined with some distortion. You can see we've got a sound shaper here. We got this amp. We even have an overdrive. That's how you get the 303 sound. And then I also have a bit of echo. One of these is just for like a really fast delay that gives you some stereo width. One of them is adding 8th note delay. And then we just have a high pass filter a bit more filtering, and then I have this auto pan to make it sound like it's sidechained to the kick. Then we have the rolling bass. So basically what's happening here is this is playing like the chord progression of the track. I was going for like that Saw of Olympus type of feel. And basically what we're doing here is, if you can see, like if we're in the key of G sharp minor, so we're doing root note, 6th, 5th, 4th. So just walking down that scale, just so it's just that, and then you combine it with these notes on top, which are going to overlap, and then you just basically have those kind of playing their own melody, like here. Right, so you can kind of hear it. And it creates this really nice rhythm when you have both of these. So what you're going to want to do is you just start with the low notes. Just make a simple progression like this. Like, it's not complicated. It's just... right? Very straightforward, very much just on beat. And then you add in these extra notes, and that's where you kind of get the intricacy. I think it's a nice sound having them play at the same time like that as well. So then, to make the sound, we actually have 2 wavetables here because I wanted to use 3 oscillators. And wavetable, as you know, only has 2. So what's happening here is we've got 2 saw waves. You can see they're at the same octave. And then this patch, we just have another octave, or another saw wave in that same octave. And then what's happening here is to get the filters to move at the same time, all you have to do is just right click, and then I map them both to this one knob here. So now you can control those both at the same time. And you can see there's a bit of automation. Kind of keeps everything moving really nicely. And then what we're doing is we have a multi-band distortion. So here's without that. And then with it. So obviously you can hear, makes everything really fat, really full sounding. So the first thing here is the mids. You can see, we've got this amp on there. And I also have a little bit of chorus on there to give it a little bit of stereo width. Then we have the highs, which has an overdrive. And then this has a bit more chorus. That's why we have 2 separate ones, because I wanted a little bit more chorus on the highs. And then just the lows, just nothing on them, just coming through as they should sound. And you can also do a bit of this, like try filtering it before the distortion as well. But yeah, and that just adds a lot of texture to the overall sound. Again, without messing it up too much, because we're blending these. So it's never like just the distorted signal. It's just the distortion is like another layer on top of it. And yeah, then we have this auto pan just to make it sound sidechain to the kick. And then we have a high pass filter. And that's it for the bass. Then we have this rolling lead. Now, this is playing actually all the same notes as the rolling bass, just only some of them. But yeah, you can see like these are all like all the same notes that are being played in the other sequence. And then the only difference is at the end, the bass sequence just goes doo 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 doo. This does this little. Kind of completes the sequence there. So for the sound on this one, it's made with wavetable. So it's just 2 saw waves here. You can see they're in the same octave. A bit of echo, a little bit of drum bus blended on there. Auto pan, and then a high pass filter. This one's really simple. It's really just like a layer. So you just want to keep it really clean. and fat sounding like that, and not mess it up too much with a bunch of extra processing. So then we have this last lead, which just doubles up what that one's playing right there. So this one's made with wavetable. You can see it's 2 saw waves here, same octave, and then we've got a bit of unison. You can see, yeah, it's on the noise setting, and then we have the low pass filter has this envelope on it. So you can see you get that really tight, plucky, like Then we're multi-band distorting this. So what's happening here is, yeah, you can see we've got like mids, highs, lows, all being distorted separately. And then, yeah, here's before that. And then after. So you can hear what that does for the sound. And then we have a bit of filter delay to kind of give it this nice stereo delay. A high pass filter, and finally just an auto pan to make it sound like it's being sidechained to the kick. And that is it for the synths. So then we have the main hi-hat, which is 2 layers. So we have this one, kind of for the nice highs. And then this one, which gives you that like in the mid-range. And when you put them just one on its own, see, it doesn't hit quite right, but when you put them together, you get this really full sounding fat hi-hat. And that's the idea behind those. You don't need any processing, you don't need to compress them or saturate them or any complicated stuff. Just keep it clean and let it breathe. Then we have all the other hi-hats. So we have like, this is actually one of my tambourine loops from my Ultimate Drums pack. And then this hi-hat. And this one has an auto pan on it, so it's kind of like bouncing back and forth. And when you combine those, you can hear it sounds really nice. And then we just have a bit of a high-end boost on those, and also an auto pan. So I find if you put auto pan on these, it just kind of makes it groove a little bit better. Like here's without it. And then with it. And another detail too is this one having those little 30-second notes at the end. So yeah, that really mixes it up. I recommend doing something like that. It makes it feel just a lot more fresh and exciting. And the last thing down here is we just have a little clap. And that just hits once every 4 bars. You just get like a little... I think when you combine that with the 303, you get a really nice little transition there. You know, it's like these 2 elements coming together. And the fact that it's playing in the same spots. That's the 303. Yeah, it really brings that to life and makes that transition even more powerful. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full template, literally everything, the kick, the drums, the synths, the MIDI, the presets, all of that is available at the top of the description on my Bandcamp for just $5. This really helps support me, plus you guys get an amazing techno template that you can use to make your own huge tracks and get signed to the label of your dreams. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. I really appreciate it. Every sale really helps keep me going. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video.